What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thank you for joining. I got a fun one for you guys today. I kind of say that all the time, but it's true. They're all fun. I got my normal guest, Key Issues, joining me, and I got two other guests. One has been a regular on the show a few times, and the other one is, I believe, first timer on my show. Maybe second time, but first time on Tuesday, so it's going to be exciting. Today we have overrated, underrated characters. So I'm sure that the chat is going to probably have a lot of things to say. It's gonna get really fun. So that's what I'm hoping for. I want to take this time right now to say, if you haven't checked out Key Issues' video that just dropped, probably around 5:30 Eastern time, go check it out. He just basically debunked or did some research on the virus character. He kind of thinks that he may have found an answer on who virus is, so go check it out. We did a live, he explained it, but in his video on his channel, he goes into it a bit more. So big kudos to him for finding that out. I won't ruin it, so go check it out. Again, guys, everyone on the panel, make sure you sub up to their channels. They got great content. So let's start bringing them in. So first we have one of my favorite people in the community, Miss Sana.
Ooh.
What's going on?
Good morning from the Netherlands. Ooh.
Yeah, you got to remember it's 6 hours, so I love the fact that she's up for this. My next guest is probably one of the nicest guys, not just in the community, but overall. He is Mr. Panda. Panda, what is going on?
Not much, man. What's up, Sana? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And the last one on this panel is Mr. Popular lately. I think he's going Hollywood right now. I'm not sure. It's Mr. Key Issues. What is going on?
Hey.
Oh, I didn't see you guys there. It's your boy Key Issues. What's happening, people?
It's the tank top queen.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is huge. I think this is Keon's second time wearing a T-shirt, sleeves on the show. So that is good. That's great. I love it. Welcome to the club.
Carlito.
So just before we get started, I just want to say I do have an announcement starting.
Oh my God! Congratulations on your pregnancy.
That's not how it works here in North America. Starting next Tuesday, we are still going to be doing our normal comic talk. We're probably going to move it to 7:15. That is because as of 9 p.m., I believe it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, I will be introducing a new segment. It is called the Speculation Show. I'm going to be joined by Mr. Key Issue, and I will be joined by Dollar Bin. For those of you that don't know Dollar Bin does a lot of speculation. He's putting out a lot of content, a lot of books. I suggest you go check him out on Instagram. He does follow me. It's Dollar Bin Father, I think, or Fodder, somewhere around there. I'll post it. Fodder. But definitely go check him out. He's one of the good guys in the community. He will be joining us. He is very knowledgeable, so definitely going to be a great show. I hope you guys can be a part of it. And again, it's spec. It's the night before New Comic Book Day, so you never know. You might luck out on anything. So that's good. So with that said, we are going to be talking about overrated, underrated characters today. We're going to have a lot of fun with it because I know Iron Man is not on anybody's overrated list. We don't have to worry about that. So what we'll do is we're going to start off with underrated characters. I'm going to go first. I'm going to kick this off.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, buddy.
Okay.
The princess.
Before we do that, though, the chat is getting a little wild, so let's just go say hi. FaceTime, thank you for joining. The gold medal. Keys, he just dropped his link. Go check him out. Go sub him out. Titus, thank you for joining me, brother.
Ohio.
Hey, what's going on? Ain't no shame in this game. Yeah. Truth. What's going on, brother? Thanks everybody for joining. Stay Puff, Jay Monty, Carlito. Excuse me. Count Vaughn, Daniel, Comic Night, Mint Hunter, what is going on? Simple Simon, thank you guys
Oh,
all for
shit.
joining.
Oh
What happened?
shit!
Oh, he's
Simple
here. Oh.
Simon. Simple Simon is in the house.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while actually.
Wow.
Like in
the
a live or
Austrian
anything. Yeah.
princess.
Yeah. Well,
How's
thank you guys
life
for
down
joining.
here?
So, and Zen World just came in. What's up, brother? Thank you for joining. So, yeah, guys, let's get down to it. My first underrated character is Iceman.
Okay.
Super
Oh, that was cold, bro. That was cold.
Super underrated. I mean, you're talking about a character who is on the original X-Men covers, an original member, and basically how they did him in the movies is terrible, garbage. Like I think they would pay more homage to him. I think he's got a sweet power where he's just like, you know what, I'm out of here and just, ice out kind of thing. Like I think that would be cool. I think you can do a lot with that character in the sense of he's badass. You can kind of have a comedy role with it, things like that. And they haven't capitalized on it. Like I thought the casting for him was terrible. The marketing was terrible. I mean, I think there's only one Funko. When you think of X-Men, you don't even think of Iceman. I mean, some of the hardcore X-Men fans do, but like for your average new collector, things like that, you would never put Iceman probably in your like top 10, maybe top 15.
Yeah.
Caraman.
Not even just superheroes, but in the category of mutants.
Yeah.
He's never really in the top 10. Nobody really talks about him.
No.
So I agree. He's definitely underrated.
Keys, you had something to say when I dropped the name. You did something, so.
All right, so he's cool. He's cool and all. I'll give him that. He is totally underrated, but let's be real here. Let me take a second and say that Frozone did it better, bro. Sure, the boy can skate and create ice and shit, but where's my super suit woman, Frozone? Way cooler, man. Just kind of.
What the?
I'm just saying, bro.
I just picked up that 80th anniversary Iceman Funko because they just had it on. They had it on sale for $10 at Big B. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. $10, why not? I think it's cool. But yeah, I kind of think that we'll see him in the newer stuff. I think that the Marvel team and them, they kind of want to reintroduce characters. Like me personally, I think we're going to see a new Wolverine. We're going to see Cyclops, Rogue and Gambit, absolutely. And then I don't think we're going to be seeing like the Colossus. I think we're going to be seeing more of possibly Iceman, things like that, if they could do it properly, 100%.
Yeah, like the full ice form Iceman. Like fully, yeah, that would be sweet. That would be unreal.
He's so marketable. Like I feel like there's a lot of characters that they just hit. Like they miss out on it, and it's just like how can you miss out on that? I don't get it.
I don't even know if they missed out as they didn't know how to market it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, marketing. Yeah.
How do you market Iceman with somebody? But then again, when they brought up Iron Man, to start off the whole MCU thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just you never know who's gonna pop off.
Yeah, exactly.
Because nobody was talking about Iron Man before the Iron Man movie. You know what I'm saying?
No. Who else could you, in the last, like, say 5 years, who else would you say is a character that you could put in that category where, like, maybe 5 years they weren't thinking about and they just turned out really good?
Right.
Marketing wise, and this is not a shot. I'm not throwing a shot, but I'd probably say Captain Marvel, to be honest with you. Like the way they brought up her and the way they marketed and the way they put her pretty much everywhere when that movie dropped, even today, like it's still a character that's pretty hot.
True, fair enough.
I just don't know if the franchise is hot for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, so let's go around circle clockwise. So Sana, you are up next.
I chose Emma Frost.
As underrated?
Ooh.
Yeah. Compared to like, telepathic, is that how you say it? You have always Jean Grey in the foreground, whatever you say it in English. And I really feel like she can do so much more. She can kick your fucking ass. She can go diamond shape. And she can manipulate you. So
Yeah.
you never really know whose side she's on, and I think she's very underrated in the sense of that they really explored her character in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's
totally agree.
considered one of the most powerful mutants out there too.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I was
I would
never.
love to see like an Emma Frost movie with like the Hellfire Club and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, she went toe to toe with Xavier a few times now. Even he recognizes that potential and power. They just kind of butchered her in the movies because she's shown up a few times. Origins, she was like a young kid that was totally overlooked. You had First Class? She came in hot, but then just kind of simmered out. Like she never got the love she deserved. I totally agree. That's a good pick. I didn't even think of that. So totally underrated. So kudos.
The only thing with the Emma Frost, like from the comic standpoint, I would say, I hate that cover. Like, it just looks weird. And I'm talking about the one that it's like just that blonde, and she's just kind of like, and it's almost like angled and things like that. I can't remember that number. It just looks like a weird cover. I don't know. Covers they either they hit or they don't. I think that's a miss for sure. Yeah, I don't know. But I agree. Emma Frost is crazy. She is underrated. We haven't talked about that X-Men run. I tell everybody all the time, like when they ask me for specs or books, especially in the X-Men run, there's so many that you could just literally put any. Like you could say any.
Yeah. But they always go with the same characters.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And I think I had this conversation last week with somebody, and I don't know if the conversation after I said this comment was taken in the right context, because it was a comment that I made. But I had said, I'm like, yeah, it's almost like Spider-Man, where like, how many more times does Uncle Ben have to die, right? Like, how many more times are we going to see the same thing over? Like, I'm going to be getting to my mid-30s, and I've already seen, 3 different Spider-Mans, and they're doing the same thing over and over. And we're kind of seeing it with, Batman, things like that. Like, we're going to be seeing the third Batman when Patterson takes over and things like that. So it's hard because, like, when they're only putting a movie out every 2 to 3 years, it's hard to keep a character or keep a person to just do a movie for like 10 years and then throw in, so I get it. But yeah. All right, Panda.
Okay. We said characters. I didn't think, we've been saying superheroes right now, but I got one. I got Omega Red as one of my people that
underrated.
Love. Underrated, yes.
Underrated.
You tell me, how many times has he been in some sort of animation movie, some sort of movie, any kind of love like that? He killed it when he first came out in Jim Lee's X-Men run. I mean, he came out with that perfect cover too. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate the second one, like his second appearance, which I think is the annual number 5. I think there's more badass art in that book than there is in the first one. In the first one, you just kind of see the tentacles or whatever.
Yeah.
I know I've had this conversation with you, and I know I definitely had it with Keon. Omega Red, while he might be underrated in the sense that, yeah, we haven't seen him and things like that, I don't think he's a character that they can build a franchise and kind of just have him go. I think that we've seen the blueprint where they're going to have these villains or these things that each team has to go against, and then there's going to be one badass dude like Thanos that they can carry on for so many movies, right? In my opinion, I think that's Mr. Sinister.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Where I think Omega Red is just a one and done. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't see them.
That's what I'm saying, is that I don't think he's going to be like a big bad guy like Thanos, but I can see him being in a movie being the main villain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We need strong villains inside the MCU. That's one thing that the MCU has always lacked, is having good, strong villains. We just haven't seen good, strong villains. And I honestly think that, with the powers to be, with him being, Russian and everything like that, they could do some sort of X-Men storyline with all that kind of stuff and bring all that kind of stuff back in. But yeah, I can see it just being a one and done, one movie and he's done. but I definitely think he's underrated in the fact that they don't use him whatsoever.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean, a one and done isn't necessarily a bad thing. We have Black Panther, Eric Killmonger, sweet villain. One movie, he's gone. I mean, I resonated really deeply with that guy.
But wait, hold on. But look at that, okay? But look, that's a perfect example. But now look, they killed him, right?
Yes.
And there's rumors. Now, they might not be mainstream rumors or things like that, but I've read multiple times. I've heard people say, well, they might bring him back.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm cool with that.
Maybe they'll bring him back and do that. So that's what I want to get away from. Like, if someone's dead, they're dead. Like,
true. Like Ironmonger, like the dude from the second Iron Man, like that Mandarin imposter, all shitty villains. I'm just saying, Omega Red could make a dent.
Omega Red is badass. I'm just saying, like, I don't like when they do these characters and then, like I think they missed with Killmonger, because if they would have kept him alive, they would probably have something really cool where it's like, oh shit, he's loose, right? Like he might come back. Like, you can build off that. They missed in the sense that he hit it. He did a great job. And then we're sitting here like, yeah, but he's dead. He's not coming back. Until somebody's like, no, there's a rumor. He might come back. Like, well, like, what is it, right?
I mean, he still made an impression on people, though, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. A one and done isn't necessarily a bad thing. The man has a legacy now in the following. Omega Red needs that to blow up. He's totally underrated.
I really like what Lady Fantastic had to say. She said, I feel like Omega Red is very one-dimensional. And that's very true. I think more than anything with the underrated is how I felt like I want to see more out of a character, something more fleshed out, something that is going to bring me back to that nostalgia period of me collecting in the 90s and then, finding all that kind of stuff and wishing more upon that person or character, because I just didn't feel like they fleshed him out enough. So he is one-dimensional. I just wish they would do more with him to give him more of the backstory, find out what's really making him tick and all that kind of stuff, And
Panda, you hit it right on the nose there, because that 90s X-Men show, like Omega Red made so many appearances and he had so many really good battles and stuff like that. So if they were to do them and they bring in that 90s concept, absolutely. I just think that it's a mistake if they're, putting all their eggs into that character over the other ones that they could do. You know what I mean? I totally agree. We have to see new characters. I don't want to see another Magneto. I don't mind Magneto being in it. I just don't want Magneto to be the focal point. Like, I want to see new characters. I want to see new villains. I want to see new storylines.
Yep.
And that's usually that's something that I thought was going to happen in Age of Apocalypse, but we see Magneto just being in the forefront of the whole thing. I mean, the movie had so many flaws. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But the focal point was Magneto during that whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Carlito.
Yeah, they missed on that one too. Yeah, absolutely. They could have done something really cool with that. Seeing as how both characters are Canadian as well, they could just do it. I think this is something a lot of people would want to see, myself included. I don't think that they could now necessarily, just because of where Hulk is in the current MCU. Like, they would have to do something, backtrack or something. It would just be. I think it would be difficult right now, but then again, I don't work for Marvel, so. But I would love to see that.
Does it work for Marvel?
I wish.
Yeah, right.
Similar to Killmonger, if they gave Omega Red a backstory and the struggles. Yeah. The one thing, like, me personally, when it comes to villains, especially when it comes to comics, because I'm a collector first and foremost. Villains don't necessarily do so good, right? I mean, they're hot for a while, but it's not a book that necessarily holds value throughout. So I'm always iffy on those characters. I was the one that skipped out on buying that X-Men Annual 4. I've had multiple chances, and I said, I think I have a copy of 5 just because I like the art better. But yeah. All right, Keys. I think all of us have suspense here. What is your character that's underrated?
Dude, and
It's
if
not
you
totally
say
out
Kite
there.
Man, I swear I'm gonna flip the table.
Bro, Kite Man is so underrated, man. We all know that the man has a kite, bro.
That's your
A
character?
kite. No, but dude's ballsy, man. He's going up against superhuman people with a kite.
Oh,
That takes guts. I respect that. You know
Okay, I
what?
can respect
DC cast me as Kite Man. Let me put some respect on this man's name. So, for my underrated pick, I gotta show some love to the ladies out there. This pick may not be known because she is totally underrated. I gotta go with my girl Angela, who debuted 1993, Spawn issue 9. She is a bounty hunter of heaven, trained to kill spawns for fun. We're talking a heavenly entity that just wants to rip these guys apart for fun. Spawn is a very foreboding character. So in order to strike fear into Spawn, that takes good writing and sweet character development, as well as a presence that you just can't emulate anywhere else. There was a huge dispute between Marvel and Image Comics, as some people may know. And so in Marvel, she's actually a straight up god, like born a god, and she's the half sister to Thor, I believe. Heir to the Asgardian throne, and yet lo and behold, there's probably some people in the chat like, who the hell's Angela? So,
I mean, I know because of you. Like, I know you're a big Spawn guy, so I know Angela. But yeah, I don't think she's very well known. Did they use her in the first? Well, I say first, but like in the Spawn movie, did they use her at all or no?
They did.
nah.
No, right? I can't remember. Like, I remember watching that like super young.
You know what's crazy, Key? I have Angela on my list too.
Oh,
No way.
For real,
Hold
I
on.
have Angela on my list.
There it is. Fist bump, baby. Let's get it. Hey.
Dude, for real, I had Angela on my list too. She was a lot higher though, but I mean, her sole job is to hunt down Hellspawn and kill them. That is her main job, and she wouldn't have that job if she wasn't good at it. So know, Angela, man, she's dope, man. Just like FaceTime said, man, dope.
Yo, as we can see, you cannot kill these Hellspawn, man. They come back over and over again. They got magic and shit. It's a hard job, man. Somebody's got to do it.
So who can I ask? Playing devil's advocate here, who would be a good casting for that character?
Oh,
because she's got to be super tough, badass, but at the same time,
probably tall, probably real tall, yo.
Right? Yeah, tall.
Like really. Oh my god.
You know who I'm thinking of, and I don't know if she would like. Looking at what you think of the character now or the individual, but Gina, what's her name? The UFC fighter. She was in Deadpool.
Gina Carano.
Her.
Oh,
dude, she had my heart when she.
Oh, facts.
Dude,
oh my
real.
god, I had a huge crush on her. Oh my god. Yeah,
you know, she was
really great.
Her name was Crush on American Gladiators when she was on American Gladiators.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Hold up, she was on American Gladiator?
Yeah.
I told you, heart.
Oh man, I'm leaving the stream. I'm gonna watch some Gladiator. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. I think that would be a good role, especially because you need somebody who's like automatically like just has that badass presence already. So yeah. I think so. And let's face it. I mean, I know people have been stocking up on Spawn for the past 5 years, like comic-wise, but that movie will eventually happen. I mean, it has to, right? Please. When was the original? 93?
That's a good year, but
97,
98?
98?
Yeah,
I think
it's late 90s.
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's before that.
No, it was 97.
I don't think 98 seems a little bit far for me.
Austin was saying that she had a 5-second appearance in the Spawn movie.
Oh, she
walked through in the Spawn movie. I guess I missed it, but if
I missed that,
seconds, then I definitely missed it.
I have to see it again. Like I don't think I've seen it in so long. That movie, like
Sauna is straight up right. It's 97, yo.
97. Wow,
that dropped 97.
Nice. Okay, all right. My second character. There's no theme here. Absolutely no theme here. Some people may think there is. Once I say this character, underrated for sure, and kind of the same situation that Iceman is. Human Torch.
Oh, that's hot.
I
That's
think
hot.
Human Torch is super underrated. That's terrible. That was terrible. I think Human Torch is not done properly in the movies. In the early comic book, when he's starting off, like, he's a badass character. He's everywhere. He's super popular. Like, I remember he was one of my favorites. I was always asking, like, why is this guy on fire and he can fly? Like, it was always so cool. When you come down to, like, Fantastic Four stuff, I think that he gets lost in translation or in the background sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, even though they show him enough, I don't think that they capture the correct character. They always try to get that goofy or that, like, super.
I was
tough.
about to say they always try to clown him on the comics because they always try to make him this lighthearted dude. But when he first came out, dude was a total badass. You know what I'm saying? He was actually on the first what was it? Timely Comics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And the thing too is
Carlitos comments.
97. What? Oh yeah. The thing too that could work with Human Torch is the fact that throughout the comics, he's introduced and has fought so many people, right? That you can bring him into so many movies. You know what I mean? Like, you can introduce them fighting, say, Spider-Man, or fighting Iron Man, or fighting, Hawkeye, things like that.
Yeah, and I think he'd be, the Fantastic Four would be a good transition to the mutants as well, like working it somehow, doing it from, if you're doing it from an MCU standpoint, just going from the Fantastic Four straight into other mutants and stuff like that. So, I definitely agree that he's versatile, that he could be in anything.
Like the one that they did with Chris Evans, they tried to punk him. Like, they made him seem like he was this just, like, cocky, funny boy. Like, I think he was done.
But that was his story arc. That was his.
I like that.
Comics.
Yeah, but then the Michael B. Jordan one, they tried to make him, like, super tough.
Man, it's not hot, bro. Man, it's not hot, bro. That wasn't good. Man.
So
Was that the new one then?
Yeah.
Can't remember it.
Iceman.
Iceman and Human Torch, man.
Fire and ice, bro. We're going with that Shaq little rub, icy hot up here.
And I said, there's nobody. There's no thing. Like, when I was writing them down, I'm like, oh, okay.
This is gonna be like medium temperature man next. Like, what the hell? Like,
could be cotton. Right. You never know. All right, Sana.
Underrated
character.
Ooh, I will go with Black Bolt.
Black Bolt?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
He can just sneeze, and people in Japan will lose their pubic hair just because of the radiation.
Wow.
He's that powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. He whispers and the earth shakes. That's really good.
The show was done terribly. I mean, I don't think I've never met anybody who said that show was good. I probably will
think
never.
It's great.
Okay.
Anna, are you serious?
I hope not. I hope not.
I think so.
But you had that rumor, I think it was last week, I think it was Thursday or something, that they're trying to do the Illuminati. The comic was, like, up like crazy. So it's not crazy to think that we might not, or that we will see him. I think we might. I think they're going to redo that whole Inhumans thing anyway. I think it's going to go straight to movie at some point. They're going to introduce characters one by one, but yeah, they'll redo that for sure. It's too big of a group, and it's too big with a tie-in to Fantastic Four that I think that they could do something with that.
Especially if they're going to introduce, Miss Marvel with the series. You're already kind of introducing the Inhumans.
No.
I'm with Carlito.
Oh man, yeah. He's on there, and whoever Rob Stark.
He's playing the Black Knight.
Oh, gotcha. going on, Hella? Thanks for joining me, brother. Yeah, so you missed out a few good laughs. My icy hot pick.
Icy hot.
Icy hot. Icy hot.
Sponsored.
So Black Bolt, yeah, for sure. One thing I will say, if they do something, I hope they don't use the same actor. Are we in agreement with that, or
The one that played it in the
show?
Yeah, he was a terrible pick. Did not feel that.
I think they were all pretty bad, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah, Medusa, she wasn't great.
Yeah,
the only one that they had that was great that was Lockjaw, and he was animated.
Nah. That show wasn't for me, bro.
that show's up there with DC Heroes of Tomorrow for me.
Oh, that's a classic, instant classic.
Yeah, they're just terrible.
Underrated.
Panda, speaking of underrated, your second pick for underrated, sir.
Well, Angela's already gone, so I will have to go with Nightcrawler.
Oh.
Always to me was a BAMF, dude. A badass mother effer. For real. I mean, they did do a couple things that were good with him inside the movies. But story-wise, when it comes to the comics, I know he was leading the X-Force there for a second. But, I mean, they didn't really do anything with him. There wasn't anything, compelling with his story arc. I wish he was under a good writer that could actually give him a good story. So this way we could fall behind him again. I mean, he has his badass moments, but it just seems to be fleeting because they're just moments. It's not a whole, let's lead a whole X-Force team or anything like that, or the X-Mutants and stuff like that. It's crazy to think that such a strong character is just going to fall to the wayside because nobody knows what to do with him.
Yeah,
because he's German.
Because he's
isn't he? He's Mystique's son, correct?
Yes, and Azazel. Azazel's the father,
and they missed.
He was like a demon, but
they missed doing something with that where because I think in the one movie they have Mystique and they do have Nightcrawler and they don't do anything with them.
They did it twice.
Twice. The one thing, and I don't like talking politics or religion a lot. Everyone's got their thing. The one thing that I didn't like so much when they did introduce Nightcrawler was, I can't remember what movie, but it was just always religion with him. Like something would happen. He's like, don't worry.
But
God.
It's because he was brought up.
I know, but like just do something crazy. Like you have do something crazy. You know what I mean?
So his race of mutants are ancient, right? You have Angel, also. So these characters, these ancient race of mutants, literally, religion was inspired by in this universe. So it's kind of cool to see a demonic mutant of an ancient race be a Catholic, a devout Catholic. Man, I thought that was a cool little thing they sprinkled in that movie. X-Men 2. That was the hardest intro to an X-Men movie. I think it was X2 when he's trying to assassinate. That was hard, bro.
Inside the White House? Ooh, that was so good.
And then he was a bitch, right? I mean, he was crap, right? Like for the rest of the movie, man. Like he was like, I can't see where I'm teleporting, so I can't. I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
But my biggest thing is that like you see a lot of the X-Men grow within the Institute, and like Kitty Pryde, for instance, comes in newbie. She eventually heads her own school. I want to say it's the Jean Grey Institute for the Gifted. And you never really get to see that with Nightcrawler. Like, he developed and he grew within the Institute, but he never gets his just deserved, man.
Yeah. Like I said, man, underrated.
He's one of the originals, too, if I'm not mistaken, right? In the early comics, like, isn't Nightcrawler one of the originals, too?
No.
I think he's like one of the plus ones, yo. He's not the original, but he's not like new.
Like
he showed up in issue 100.
In 100? Okay. I don't know why I thought it was sooner than that. Okay. Well, still a good character, good power, good mutant power. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us can resonate with him. Like he is popular enough where like even if you're 45, 50, the character. So it's not like he's newish or he's too old. He's just at a right part. And again, a character that if they market it better and they played him better in movies, I mean, who knows? There's a lot of potential there. So
I mean, every time he teleports, he leaves sulfur behind. That's so badass, man. It's from Hell, I believe, right? Right, Panda?
Carlito, he's on the other end of my list. Say what now?
thank you,
When
man.
Nightcrawler teleports, he leaves sulfur behind. No, that's from a Hell dimension or something, because he's going through dimensions when he teleports. There's a
Right.
middle ground.
Right.
That is they capitalize on that. That is so cool.
So
Nobody really
There's
knows
so
that.
much backstory that you could do with it, but they
Yeah,
don't do
man.
anything with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Now I got a question for you. Like, and this is like one of those like what ifs. You never know. Could he possibly, because he knows of different dimensions, let's say, or universes, do you think that he'd be able to travel? Like, I know he's got to see it, but if somebody were to give him the thought, or like,
See, that's the other thing about him, is that he doesn't know where his powers come from. He just knows how to use them. He's harnessed it after a while, but his powers weren't really fully explained on how well they really work in that space, in that whole time frame. So sorry, Carlito, man. I had to. He's one of them.
oh boy. All right. Well,
My boy Carlito.
the Batman. Keys, another underrated character, sir.
All right, so this is gonna be hard because everyone here is like in the community, and this view is coming from outside of the community. And Burke's gonna kill me. Pandawson probably gonna kill me. But underrated. It's not a character. It's a squad. TMNT, bro. TMNT, underrated. Underrated, man. Okay. Firstly, OG comics, please correct me if I'm wrong, are like dark and foreboding comics. No, before the childish thing came in and the themes came in, they were dark, man, and they looked so cool.
So it's Sleeping Beauty. They were dark stories.
Yeah, I want to see the dark. But so we have creative characters. Each turtle is not a copycat of the other. They are so unique. You can ask anyone on the street, yo, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? And they'll come up with someone and a reason why, bro. Underrated, my. You see what I'm saying? Underrated, my dude. Yo,
Key, it's
turtle
like,
rap?
Raphael is probably the best turtle, the most iconic turtle. Yes.
The Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice, one of the greatest songs of all time. Thank you, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Boom.
Dude, Key,
but no,
I had the individual Michelangelo on my list. I'm telling you, he's underrated, man. They don't do anything.
Underrated.
They make him one-dimensional. That's why I think The Last Ronin is going to be so good, because I do believe The Last Ronin will be Michelangelo. You start off with Michelangelo, end it with Michelangelo. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Ash can.
Man, I picked up 3 of these because Dustin on Two Brothers said that somebody was selling it for like $500, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get that." Yeah, and I literally took them.
It's just a 5-page.
Yeah, like, how is that a comic book? Like, I don't understand.
It's just an oversized preview, but love it. Love it.
I was gonna say.
I think that's something that moving forward, Panda, we should do together. We should do, because a lot of people don't know this, but I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. My mom and my sisters, for my 30th birthday party, threw a Ninja Turtles themed party. Yeah, and I was turning 30 at the time. Yeah, my bed sheets were Ninja Turtle, everything. Like growing up as a kid, it was all Ninja Turtles. I just don't, I don't. Not like I don't advertise it. It's just the comics were never something. It was just always show or action figures for me. But for me, it's always Raphael. Always Raphael. So.
Oh yeah, for me, it's always been Michelangelo. I don't know what it was, man. That party lifestyle, that vibe that he had. That just even in the comic books when they were dark. I mean, he was the most lighthearted out of all of them, which is why I think they gave him that that party attitude when they started going gearing more towards the kids and everything. But
I think if you were to go the most unpopular one, I think it's a consensus that everybody would probably say Donatello.
Most popular?
No, least.
Oh, I was about to come through there.
least.
I mean, purple's my favorite color, and I'm not a big fan, so. Actually, I think that's Dilly's favorite, or Mr. Freeze. I'm pretty sure that's Mr. Freeze's favorite turtle. I'm not going to lie.
Donatello?
Mr. Freeze, if you're out there. Yeah, because...
If you're out there, confirm.
If you're out there, say something.
speaking of Mr. Freeze, for my underrated character that's next, I'm going to stick with hot and cold, but it's Mr. Freeze. Super underrated. I understand why DC is not doing anything with them. DC is trying to milk that Harley Quinn train all it can before it brings in new characters like Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, which I think are really iconic villains. I don't know. The Arnold Schwarzenegger one was not a good depiction of them. It was kind of bad. I think with how technology is now, they could go about finding a guy who basically just has an ice pack on the back. Like I kind of want to see those glasses, and I want to see the glass helmet thing ish. I guess you could say. Beware. Like I didn't like how Mr. Freeze was dressed, was his attire and things like that. So I think if they went to like an old school thing like that, I think they could really do something cool with it. Yeah. I don't know why my underrateds are hot and cold people. I just,
Man. I feel like Mr. Freeze isn't under or overrated. I feel like he's in that perfect neutral zone. I mean, he's one of those characters that they did great in, I want to say the animated series, the first animated movie. Was it called Sub-Zero, Sub-something, Sub?
I believe,
I can't remember it, man. It was good, though. It was really good. He's done really well in the Batman video games. He's done well in other animated projects. Hasn't really taken off on big screen, but I don't think he's underrated, man. I think he's, they did him justice in some aspects, but they just haven't done him justice on the big
But underrated is in like you never. If I were to say to random people,
yes,
in the comic not even in the comic community, but just say like, give me some villains of Batman. I don't think Mr. Freeze breaks
top five.
No, I don't.
Five for me. For me,
I disagree. No, yeah, if you're in it, absolutely. But I think if you get random people, you're not going to find people that say it. You can market it. You can make it a character that lasts maybe one or two films. You know what I mean? So I think so.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you on that one. I definitely feel like he's one of the most underrated. Like his time to shine was in, BTAS, Batman the Animated Series, with that whole God, what was the name of that episode? Like Heart of Darkness or Heart of Cold or something like that, or Heart of Ice, something like that.
No, okay, that for whatever reason wrong. I think it's Heart of Ice.
Okay,
I don't see it being called Sub-Zero. Key, I don't think so.
it's a long time ago, man.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's more
the movie though that Freeze was in, but the one where it really fleshed him out as a whole character, giving him the whole story arc of his wife being terminally ill, and she has some sort of disease, and so he's put her in some sort of suspended animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to put her to sleep, and then he's not even doing this, to rob the riches and do all that. I mean, he's doing it to save his wife.
Yeah, and that's why he's got that iconic. I don't know if he in the cartoon Panda. You could correct me, but I don't know if he lines it up, but it actually goes around. It's like it's something that his wife, because she was a ballerina or something like that. And that's iconic in the cartoons, is that he always has that. And I think there was an episode where Batman almost broke it and he like just lost it or something like that. So
yeah.
And here it is. Jeffrey says, Heart of Ice. That's
nice.
FaceTime. Get the FaceTime comment up here. I'm telling you, I was right on the Sub-Zero thing, man.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called
underrated character.
Who, me?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh. Sara Pezzini, Witchblade, 25th anniversary this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's underrated. She's a
Witchblade has what? One movie? Did they ever do a movie? I can't remember.
There is a series.
There's a series?
But it's hard to find on DVD for me, at least.
Yeah, I'm not big on the character, to be honest. I gotta admit, not. I don't know. I have no comment on it because I'm not a fan. I don't, and when I'm not a fan of something and I don't know much about it. I don't like making an opinion because that's just unfair. From it's not. I think it's biased, I guess, to make an opinion if you don't know anything about it. So, yeah.
If only she was dating Tony Stark, huh?
Then it would be different. Then I would know. I would definitely know.
Yeah, for me, that's one of those characters I also don't really know too much about. I always see her covers, and the covers are fire, but I just never know which to pick up to kind of jump on the wagon there. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Send that through. I'll totally look into that, though.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, the first issue is being re-released this week.
I passed a lot of,
and I don't have very much of an opinion about this either. But that's one of the reasons why it would be called an underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, absolutely.
She does have a following.
People know about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like she is underrated. I know there's a lot of people who follow her. I could maybe say that there's more people that follow that than Spawned, almost, if I'm not mistaken. Geez, you're the Spawn guy. I don't know. Do you think?
Beef.
No.
No, I'm just taking a guess. I don't know. I have no idea.
No, for me, I always gravitated towards it in the 90s because of Michael Turner's art. Michael Turner was the man in doing the female form, and as a growing boy and figuring out who the female was, it was fantastic to read that in my Wizard comics or my Wizard magazines and be a boy.
Yes, preach.
Oh man, Panda, you're up, sir.
Okay.
Underrated. And this is the last one for underrated. When it gets to me, we're gonna be switching over and we're gonna be doing overrated.
Okay. I had Michelangelo, Omega Red, Nightcrawler, Angela. So Key already took a lot of my stuff.
Man,
I'm sorry, man.
I did more than 3. I had Mystique. As much as they keep trying to put her in the movies, I still don't think they've done a good Mystique.
Nope.
And the shame is they did it with one of my top 10 women that if I was ever in an elevator with, I have a hall pass. Jennifer Lawrence. I've told my girlfriend that I am allowed to have her in my hall pass. She said, "Yeah, whatever." I don't even think she knows about it. But anyway,
does she even know what a hall pass is?
I thought she was bad.
You mean an elevator pass?
No, like if you're ever in an elevator with like a celebrity that's on your list, something like that.
Unpopular opinion: the first one was hotter. I don't remember the actress' name.
Rebecca Romaine Stamos. Well, I guess she's not even a Stamos. Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah, that's fire.
She was basically naked for that. I remember, right? Like,
she was absolutely naked.
Yeah. The Jennifer Lawrence one, she wasn't fully naked, but yeah, the first one was totally.
They had a bodysuit for Jennifer Lawrence by that point.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really like how they did her makeup, like Jennifer Lawrence. I didn't really like how they did her makeup, and she was on like the good side throughout the movies that we've seen, right? Like she didn't really go on the dark side or on the bad side. When I think of Mystique,
I found her really annoying. I thought she was more on it because she won some Oscar or something like that. Like, let's keep her on.
Yeah, and that whole like love story with her and Beast. Like, I want to see Mystique being bad. She's on Magneto's side. She's on the other side. Like, do it that way.
Right. And see, that's also another thing is that inside the comic books, they also did it where she was, the mother of, or the person who took care of Rogue.
Yes.
Bringing her up in that whole world and everything like that, and trying to develop her powers as soon as she stole it from. I want to say it was Carol Danvers. Yeah. So that's how Rogue got the powers, to fly and super strength and all that. But
I heard a rumor today. Well, it's not a rumor actually. After me and Keys got off, Keep It Thorough did his speculation show, and he said that the rumor that he's hearing is that Monica Rambeau, she is going to be given the powers from Carol, and that's it.
just a little girl.
That's what he was saying. That's what he was talking about. So yeah, I gotta rewatch it because
She was the second Captain Marvel though, or Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
but with
She was
Camila,
Captain Marvel.
I think with that side of things, I think they're gonna go the Camila Khan way. Like I feel like at some point they're gonna have Camila, Miles, Riri, all find each other or something. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, but technically she's already in her 20s, late 20s now. Then I think she was like 6 in what, like 1996.
Oh yeah, true. I didn't think of the true.
Yeah.
So I think she might be joining. What timeline was it? Was it Fantastic Four that she was doing some stuff with?
No. All right, Keys. Underrated.
Yes.
Underrated.
Man, I got a bunch of underrated, bro. But
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, that's an exclusive too?
Yeah, this is the Marvel Collector Core one with Squirrel Girl. That's just
Squirrel Girl.
Just reminded me of that.
Yeah, she's underrated, man. I remember when people.
Shut up.
No, people.
She's exclusive because nobody wants it.
People are paying like $150 for her book, man. Like it's crazy. Like, graded.
Oh man,
unreal.
that's a bad one.
As the guy that had Condiment King and fucking Kite Man,
buddy. But did you not agree with those arguments, bro?
Oh my god.
Yes, did. I changed some hearts out there. Everybody watching, they know that I just changed their minds. Mind fucked them. So we got to go with. I gotta say my boy Spawn, man. Totally underrated. Spawn, man.
How?
He is totally badass, and all we got was one 1997 movie from it. Okay, he runs into people like Angela, who Marvel just steals. He's a trained soldier. He can use magic. He's a strategist. If he uses too much magic, he dies, or this suit dies. He gets sent back to hell. Minor details. Strategist, so he has to go up against demons. All right, his gallery of villains are demons, serial killers, magic users, and just creepy individuals that we could totally capitalize and build a cinematic world around for sure. His only friend is this hobo who eventually turns on him and steals hell. Yeah, man, he's just one of those characters that could have been used. I mean, like, shoot, the dude, Al Simmons, beat both God and the devil. Like, that's hardcore. And then created his own universe in his own world. Oh my God. Yo, FaceTime. I have a whole list of arguments because I thought that this dude is going to chirp me for dupe. I have a whole list of arguments ready to roll, man. He is definitely on my list.
Hey, man, I know you pay your taxes. You are entitled to your opinion. So,
man,
good. It's all good.
So that's why to me, Spawn is underrated, man. Dude's badass.
All right, we're gonna flip switches here from underrated to overrated, and I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna start it off, and my first overrated character is Cyclops.
Yes.
I think Cyclops is so overrated. I don't know how he's the leader. He's a jerk. He's an unfaithful man. He is always taunted by other mutants and things like that. I don't know why Professor X made him. His suit is even weird. Like in the cartoon, it was weird. I don't know. I've never been a fan of his. Yeah, and I just think that a lot of people, think he's more than he should be. I don't know. Just never a character that I kind of got with. Super overrated.
I can see that.
I agree. Who the F is Duke? Let me tell you about the force in nature known as Duke, boys and girls. Oh, man. You know what? I picked. That's a solid pick, man. I never liked Cyclops. I probably never will like Cyclops. I think he lacks personality. I could be speaking out of ignorance because I don't really look for him in comics or storylines. So,
and especially like even in the movies, right? Like they've played it. Like the people that have played him have been so garbage. Like anything that he's got to do, like it's just garbage. Like the latest one, he's almost like a scared kid, but he tries to like act tough in front of Sophie Turner and things like that.
Oh,
like,
I have headaches. Oh, I need glasses. Oh, like, come on,
Spring
chill.
Jean.
Chill.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know.
I gotta agree with that one.
Super overrated. Super
Yo.
overrated.
Mm.
Sana, overrated character.
Batman.
Whoa.
Batman. Woo!
Yeah. And why? Because every time I want to get into like DC comic books and I go to the DC section, it's like 500 different stories of Batman that just came out in the last 3 months. And it's been going on for years. If I go to the trade section, it's like a kilometer of one shelf, just Batman. And then you have the half of it Superman, and then follows the rest. Movie-wise, it's the same thing. It's constantly
Martha!
the parents are dying and all that stuff. So there are, if the DC universe is supposed to be really big, they always go back to the same characters.
Because he has the hardest set of villains. Just gonna say it.
Yeah, his
Just gonna
rogue
say it.
gallery is definitely good. But yeah, for me being a big
Bye,
Batman fan,
Carlito.
for me being a big Batman fan, I agree with Sana. Batman is on my list too. Why? Because he has so many titles that he's not willing to share with anybody else. I definitely agree. Sana's correct. I mean, we're flooded with the market with Batman stories. I dropped a whole bunch of Batman because there's just too many titles to pick up, and they want to tie in everything with it. And it's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy 7, 8 books a week, just Batman titles that all have to tie into one story. I'm tired of double dipping.
Yeah.
So I had to
Yeah.
drop a whole bunch of titles, man. I'm over it. I love Batman. Batman's always in my heart. But right now, flooding the market, just like Sana was saying, I definitely agree. He's kind of overrated at this point. But I'm still excited for the Joker Wars.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, sure.
excited for the 3 Jokers, but it just like Sana said, man, there's too much.
And
Too
even
much.
because I was going to make the argument, and somebody in the chat actually did. I was going to say the same goes for Spider-Man. Outside of like say the Amazing Spider-Man, but then even that, like you can go with Amazing Spider-Man from 2005, 2010, 2018, right? There's so many storylines. There's so many books that sometimes it's hard. Like I remember somebody was like, "Oh, I got Amazing Spider-Man. I think it was 50," and I was like, "Oh, like really down low." I was like, "Okay, well, let me know because I'll buy that." And then when I went to go see it, it wasn't the first appearance of Kingpin. It was like some random book, and the guy didn't even know what it was. Right? It was a book that was worth nothing. I can't remember. But you run into that situation too. The only argument I would make with Spider-Man is Spider-Man keys. Spider-Man Origins or First Appearance in whatever run or volume still hold value, where something like Batman doesn't. You know what I mean? Like you can find First Appearance of Tim Drake all day in my local shop. You can find it all day for $5, all day. Keys knows we've passed by that book so many times, but some people still sell it for like $100, right? Like it's crazy to me. So. I don't know. I think Superman has that same issue. There's so many Superman things booked. I can't keep up with Superman. I haven't read Superman in a very long time. There's just too many.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman's just trash anyways, but minor details.
Yep.
Man, you're gonna
we're just hitting on my whole list here. We're just hitting on my whole list here, man. It said Spider-Man, Superman, Batman.
Oh, man.
I don't have a list anymore.
I almost made this guy. He's like 55, 57. I used to work with him a few years ago, and he was obsessed with Superman. Like I'm talking like this guy, and nothing against it. Like I'm not judging at all. I'm just trying to paint a picture for everybody. This guy was like 58, lived in his mom's basement. All he spent his money on was like Superman stuff. Like you knew what car he drove because there was Superman everything. Superman steering wheel and seat covers and everything like that. and he had a Superman lunch pail, like everything. And I remember I made him cry because I said Superman's a bitch. Like I was like, he's a bitch, and he was like, and it was just like, yeah. So yeah,
That's mean.
Truth hurts.
but I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying like Superman holds dear to a lot of older people. I don't think he holds a lot in, say, the newer collectors and things like that.
Yeah,
You know, it's more of an older character, I think. So
absolutely.
Panda, I'm excited, man. Overrated character.
I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but I think Hulk,
I said that too.
overrated character.
Now, when
Yes.
you say Hulk, are you talking about Yellow Hulk, Red Hulk?
All of them. All of them.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's way too many Hulks. I mean, and everybody got to get angry. I mean, the guy stubs his toe, and all of a sudden he's. It's just like, oh my god! All right,
Yeah,
you're
don't
angry.
forget that line in Avengers, right? Banner, what's your secret? He's like, I'm always angry.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
He wasn't angry before. He was chill. He was just chilling there.
right.
yeah,
The man's sitting at the drive-thru. Man, this order's taking way too damn long. I just want my junior chicken. Hulk out in the car, bro. Like, trash.
Man.
Hulk's trash.
I don't think Jeffrey's a fan of the Hulk one. The problem I think with Hulk, he never really, comic-wise, he never really did much for me. Outside of like 180, 181, I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of key issues, I would say. I mean, you got the Quasar 234. I think you have 225, which is Dr. Moon, I believe. And then like newer stuff, right? You got the Red Hulk, Immortal Hulk, things like that. Now you got the Yellow Hulk that I think came out like a month ago or something like that.
So they're pretty much a Power Rangers now, bro.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't know. From a comic book collecting standpoint, I was never really a big fan. In the movies, I thought, once we got to Avengers, which I think that's when most of the comic community kind of came out and was like, hey, we're a community, we're this, we're that. And it was kind of cool to be that. We were already on our third Hulk, and people don't remember that. Like a lot of people, when you say Hulk, they think of Bruce Banner. They don't think of Ed Norton and I always forget this guy's name.
Lou Ferrigno?
No, not
Banner.
Not,
Eric Banner. Eric Banner.
Yeah, the guy
Eric
that played on
Bana,
that Netflix, that Dear John or whatever, something, or John something like that. But yeah, we were already on like
Traveler's Wife.
No,
Her husband?
that guy that he took
Talk about.
an image of rich women, and he was basically like a criminal and a bum. Eric Bana, yeah, that's who it was. Thank you. Yeah. Lady Fantastic is saying, hold on, she threw out like a bunch here. So Hulk 141,
Ooh.
340, 330, and 449. Jesus, I wish I knew what those were.
And see, it's the same thing for me. Hulk just never really spoke to me. And God, my friend Gamma Freak, he even named his handle after, and the dude lives just down the street from me. I love the dude to death, but I just can't get behind the Hulk character. I just never have been. I just never really related to it other than just getting angry and feeling like I could smash things. Like, that's great. But when you talk about a one-dimensional character, I always think of the Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great that they tried to make him Professor Hulk, trying to add to it. But, I mean, it's from one spectrum to the other. And so it just didn't really speak to me, with the Hulk. But, I mean, I got love for the Hulk. I just think he's overrated.
Yeah, so I just want to comment on something here. I think it was 90 MFC. Yes, no, I'm not saying that we've had all of them in the MCU. I'm just saying we have already seen that character played by so many people that when it got to Avengers, it was like, all right, we're on number 3 or number 4. I really don't consider Lou Ferrigno because like I was born 88, so like I didn't really get to see any of that stuff. So I don't consider him one that I saw personally. But when you get to that point. Yeah, and the other thing with movie-wise, I mean, we're not going to really see a tough a tough Hulk moving forward, because I think that what we're going to be seeing is Professor Hulk. Like, we're not going to be seeing like that angry Hulk, and we even saw that in Endgame, right, where he was just basically like, like he was just nice and like kind of ashamed of who he was, right? So I don't think we're going to see a badass Hulk either.
I hope that Hawkeye will pull a Civil War 2 in the MCU.
Hawkeye, yeah.
Where he killed the Hulk, basically.
You guys think we'll ever see like a Wolverine and Hulk? I think we touched on it like earlier when we started, but
I hope, like, I really hope that's one of my things that I really want to see is that classic matchup between the two, especially the way that they did them in Ultimate, the Ultimate Universe, where the Hulk just ripped him in half and threw one part here and then his other lower half towards the end of the mountain and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I just don't see it happening anytime soon, especially with, Mark Ruffalo, with his contract just almost coming to an end, and they haven't even introduced any mutants whatsoever. So, I mean, they'd have to do an Amadeus Cho, which doesn't seem like it would be the right Hulk anyways.
Yeah, no. So, and I think that they could have capitalized if, like, at the end of Endgame, Hulk would have got on that spaceship with Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that would have been like I think all of us as collectors and just like specking on it, like we would be like, oh god, like they're gonna do something. But now that he's on Earth and they've already said like, hey, we're gonna do the Professor Hulk thing, like I just don't see them, I think he's just gonna be a mentor in the background kind of thing. I don't think we're gonna have much of him moving forward.
But luckily he stays the Hulk now because the actor got just worse and worse with acting himself. Especially in Infinity War. I was like, did he get a stroke or something?
Yeah. And don't forget, he ruined the Hulkbuster too. So
true.
So Keys,
Hulk was my pick, man. Hulk, that was my boy right there.
Damn, we got twins down under.
All right. Oh, wait. There it is. So, this is all right. This is gonna be it's more so a trend than anything, but overrated. Pretty much any Venomized character that is not Eddie Brock. Overrated. Flash Thompson, possibly passable here, but we're talking about like Gwenom and like just Venomized random characters that we already have. It's just like, man, it's a trend that I'm kind of getting sick of, man. The symbiote was so cool when it first came out. It was cool. There was like the select few that had their own. Sure, there was like a team with Riot, Phage, and all that, I'm sure. But now it's just getting out of hand, man. Everybody got a suit. Now they're making suits. Unpopular opinion. Although I'm pumped for Virus. But other than that, unpopular opinion, man.
Of course you are. Yeah, I agree. Like you see it more in like action figures and like Funkos. Like you can't go in a Funko section without like seeing at least one Venomized whatever. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're ugly too.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of biased towards this because like Venom is probably number 2 for my favorite characters. I remember it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever had this, but like, when you listen to like an artist or a band and like, you're like, yes, they're good. Nobody knows about them. So it's kind of like, you feel cool because like it's good music and them. And then all of a sudden everybody knows about them. And it's just like, you see them, it's overplayed. It's everywhere. Oh, of course you're this person's fan. Oh, of course you like it. And then it's like, it kind of loses the value. I think that's what happened with Venom. Because I remember early 2000s when I would be like, yeah, I'm a Venom fan. People would be like, what? Like, why? He's not really anything. Even early 90s when I was like growing up, he was always one of my favorite characters, especially from that 90s
animated
Spider-Man cartoon, right? But now it's like, it's like Venom's everywhere. They're doing much, so.
Keep Carnage by all means. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect. But
yeah, Venom was definitely the Limp Bizkit of the time.
Hey, that's a good analogy, man. Really, yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
Okay, I gotta ask. Now that we're on the Venom and we're on the Carnage talk, is, in your opinion, Carnage one and done after the movie?
I just don't see Woody Harrelson, doing that great of a job. Like, I love Woody Harrelson, but I don't think it can continue on as a series of more movies afterwards. I think it's a one and done. I think they're cashing way too early on Carnage. And I definitely don't think they did a good casting call for Cletus Cassidy with Woody Harrelson. Like, I love Woody Harrelson, but I just don't think he was the right move for it. But I'm going to hold my tongue because I also did say the same thing about Heath Ledger when I was talking about, 10 things I hate about you. And I was like, no, how is this dude going to be the new Joker? And he freaking killed it. So I'm going to hold my tongue and wait for it. But just for right now, I just didn't think that Woody Harrelson was such a good pick for Carnage. I really think they should have done somebody like that's a no name.
Yeah. And I think the issue here too, though, is like if you were to take, like, say, Heath Ledger, for example, like, we all know Joker doesn't die, right? Like, you can use him, like, he might go to jail, whatever, he's gonna find a way out. So, like, when that character was announced, it's not like any of us were like, oh, well, he's gonna die, right? So, like, you can carry that character on. But when it comes to Carnage, like, this is uncharted, right? Like, we don't know. Is it a one and done? Are they gonna have him in the background? Is there going to be another villain? Things like that. I think if you guys recall, and I think Keys knows the one I'm thinking of, but in the 90s cartoon, when Carnage actually shows up, what ends up happening is, for those of you that don't know, Carnage gets out of jail. He's in jail with Eddie Brock. They both get out because the symbiotes find them, but then Carnage starts ripping the city apart, things like that. What ends up happening is Spider-Man and Venom team up, and they end up in this machine that can go into, like, alternate universes or something like that. And
that's where Spider-Man came in.
Yeah, and that's where Carnage wants to open it or something, or bring something.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening? Yeah, and what ends up happening is Venom sacrifices himself and closes it while taking Carnage. I actually think that we might see that, and then that they get transferred over to the MCU.
I think that's your childhood talking, bro. I would love to see that, but it's so out there, man.
If they were to do that, I think that'd be cool, because with how good the Venom thing is, like, those guys are not going to want to do Carnage one and done, but I don't see them carrying him out. Like, I don't know.
I don't have as a fan, I want to see it. I want to see it, like, through and through. But I don't have that much of faith in this movie, man, and it hurts to say. It really does.
Don't say that.
I love Woody Harrelson too, man. Like, his range in acting is pretty sweet. Like, he could probably go a little unhinged, but.
And just like Ella Romero said, he's a natural born killer. You guys remember the movie Natural Born Killer, right?
Natural Born Killer.
Solid movie, but that was 25, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, how well can he really do that now? Can he really be the natural born killer all over again and be that creepy?
He did play a role. I think it was he played a role where he was Brie Larson's dad in this movie, and he was like a total dick. Like, he was like that deadbeat dad.
I'd be too if Brie Larson was my kid.
Something like that, So, like, I think he's got the ability to be, a jerk and things like that. What I'm hoping for in that movie is that they stay true to the character. He's a serial killer. Make sure it's rated R. I don't want to see them kind of just make it a PG-13. Like, don't ruin it. Old Man Logan, Deadpool, those were successful because they let the character be the character. You have to do that with Carnage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of Carnage, my man Panda has a raffle going on. I think 9 spots left, Panda?
It's closed.
Oh, it's closed? Never mind. Scratch that. We're gonna fast forward. Sana. Yeah. Oh wait, who?
Right here.
I think it's you,
9.8.
newbie.
9.8. Okay, so the whole raffle is closed. When are you doing the draw?
Actually, it just closed like right before. That's why I was late to the chat, was because I was trying to close some of the things up. So, I'm gonna check after this, and then we'll go from there.
Sweet. I can't spoil it, so I'll hold off. There's a reason why I didn't enter the draw, but I'll tell you a little bit later.
I feel like that's a huge spoiler.
I don't want to ruin anything. Okay, so Keys, you said your first overrated, so I'm gonna go with mine. This is probably where I lose a lot of subscribers. I know the chat.
You already did.
Carlito just unsubscribed everybody. Was it Carlito? Who was that?
I think it was
subscribing everybody.
FaceTime.
He's just handing out unsubscribes, bro.
And I'm actually happy that Burke is not here right now, because this might crush him. For overrated. Oh man. For overrated, I have Flash.
No.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I think it's overrated. Yeah, I don't like Ezra Miller. I think that's where it comes from. Yeah, just never a character I've really gravitated towards. Not a character that I've wanted to read a lot about. Yeah, I don't know. Just not a.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah. Oh, you don't?
No.
He's like.
I know he's fast.
Yeah,
super fast.
I know he has like a shitty series, I believe, because I tried to watch at least one episode once and I just couldn't get through it. And I saw here that he wanted Friends in Justice League.
Yeah, I think
Friends.
The role in Justice League was just terrible, to be honest. Like, it seemed like everybody was an adult, and then you had like just this kid, right? Like, I think they could have just got somebody like more mature and things like that. Like, I don't think, and even like a solo film. Like, I'm thinking about how they're gonna do a solo film with the Flash's personality that they've shown in the movie already, and I'm like, how are they gonna make that a success? I don't understand.
But isn't Michael Keaton going to show up then as Batman? Was it?
Oh, that's
Flash
a whole other
related?
topic.
Ryan?
He is. I don't want a single Flash. Won't argue Flash. People actually like Flash. He goes fast. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you see me in the live chat with Burke and all them. When they start talking Flash, I start pulling out the toys, and I'm just like, "Yep." Flash.
Yeah, right. It's like, okay, we get it. He's fast. I don't know. Like him and I think him and Green Lantern, like just their. Now I like some of the covers, but I just think like their covers are two characters. And obviously they're DC, but they have weird covers for their books. I always laugh because I always see that Green Lantern one with like the clown, and then you see that one Flash one where he's like fighting a gorilla. You know, like they're just weird to me. I don't know. And again, it's not a character that I gravitated towards or like. I
mean, his best villains are just like the anti-him. So I mean, like. I don't know. His rogues isn't strong, man. His rogues isn't strong.
And I think because I know Flash is an iconic character. Obviously, I mean a lot of people will go nuts for this, but I think it has to do with what Ryan's saying here and what I've said. I think it's just the fact that Ezra Miller did not play a really good movie, and I have a tough time believing that in his solo project, where it's just going to be him, and it's probably going to be 2.5 hours because DC is going to say, well, Marvel does 2.5 hours. We should. That's going to be an issue for me. I don't think I can stand or sit there for 2.5 hours and watch him carry a movie. I just think it's going to be tough.
And then, of course, if it doesn't work out, you will get an extra different cut. So special that you need a different cut.
Whoa.
Yeah, there you go. Right there, Carlito. Ezra equals not my Flash. That is not my Flash.
I will say I didn't mind the one that they did in the show, like on TV. I didn't mind him.
Yeah,
see, him as Barry Allen wasn't bad. Ezra Miller, Barry Allen, trash.
And I heard that there was like some issues when they announced that Ezra Miller was going to do it and not that guy. Like I think there was like a little bit of beef or something.
We need a Wally West. That's what we need in our lives.
Yeah.
That's what we need, bro.
Still Flash.
Flashpoint, sweet.
Flashpoint.
He's responsible
is
for
what
that.
actually got me back into comics was Flashpoint. So
Other than
I
that,
really like that guy that went fast in The Boys, the series that he actually. I think
Oh,
in the first
A-Train.
episode he runs through
I was
someone. I
gonna
was
say
like, okay.
Quicksilver. I'm like, wait, what?
that was hilarious. Oh my god.
have you
Okay,
seen?
I got a question. I got a hypothetical question here, and I don't think it's ever been asked. So I'm gonna ask it. I might be first to ask. Who's faster,
Oh,
Flash or Quicksilver?
Flash?
Flash. He runs through time, bro. What do you mean?
Just wanted to see what you would say. Sorry, shoot. Sorry. All right, Sana. Overrated character.
Well, I'm probably gonna make a lot of friends with this one.
Oh,
Not really. I mean, I love the dude, but he has been overused a whole lot. Wolverine.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I won't lie. A little overrated.
Yeah.
I
In the
mean,
movies,
I remember
overrated.
the 90s cartoon, and I don't think he was really that present as far as I can remember it. But it was like up until like Hugh Jackman started playing him that they really started to hype the character more and more.
I think the one thing, and I go to refer to movies, but I think the one thing I would have loved to have seen from Wolverine is the yellow suit. And I think in that one movie where we get the teaser where the end credit is like the mask,
Yeah.
open it up and it's the mask. I think we were all screwed on that big time. And not to mention the fact that they said Tom Hardy was the one that they were looking to play the character, and then all of a sudden he's like in Venom, so it's kind of going to be hard to get those two in the same universe and things like that. So it's going to be interesting because Hugh Jackman had huge shoes. Whoever comes into that role, it's going to be tough.
I hope it's not too
like
soon, though.
it's going to be like when Heath Ledger replaced Jack Nicklaus. You know what I mean? Like Nicholson. Sorry. I'm always thinking the golfer, right? Like it's going to be one of those where like the community, I don't think at first it could be anybody. They could say Joe Blow. They could say whoever. I think the community is going to reject it at first just because of, what Hugh Jackman did overall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I would
feel
actually like to see a whole in-depth thing with Psylocke because she's a very confusing character to me.
Yeah.
Therefore, she's also underrated. Like, I thought she was a Japanese chick, but then someone else is telling me, like, no, she's like this girl from England. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I thought she was European or something like that.
Yeah, she's European.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I guess it does. And I guess that's a shitty thing too, right? Because when you're reading something, it's kind of like just any book, right? Like you read a book and you're like, man, that book was amazing. Then you see the movie and you're like, screw this.
Yeah,
Like
and it's funny though because I actually have Wolverine on my list too, and Wolverine has been my favorite character ever since I was a kid. I remember taking the spaghetti, and then taping it onto the spaghetti noodles, and then putting it out just like that. So this way, because during one of the times he had bone claws, and they actually got broken, and so I would pretend I had bone claws and I'd claw something and they would break. So the spaghetti noodles would be everywhere.
I vibe with this guy. I vibe with this guy hard.
I want to know in the chat or just from you guys on, what I did was not like Panda. So there was two things I did. I grabbed like 3 pens or pencils.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And kind of put elastics here. So literally all I had to do was go like this. So when I get home, I'd like go and like just go do stupid shit and like hit them off walls and stuff. And then the other thing that I would do is I would get a fork and I would just put it, and because it had the little claws, I would just be like, and like they were gonna do some damage. It had the metal, right? But I remember always like I had forks, and I think my mom caught me once and was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like,
I'm Wolverine, bitch.
I'm Wolverine. It's crazy. But yeah, that's the stuff. Even when the mask came out.
Oh, that was hard, bro.
Man, I remember at lunch hour when I was like growing up, I had a green piece of we bought all this construction paper to do like crafts back in the day, and I would every day take like a green one, and I'd make a circle, and I'd tape it at lunch and make holes and say that I was the mask. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know, for me, like I love Wolverine in the comic books. I mean, basically what they did with the character in Marvel is that if any title was starting to fall or if it was starting to fail, they would just stick Wolverine in there and all of a sudden the sales would go up, right?
Yeah.
Now, Hugh Jackman's, I love Hugh Jackman in the movie as Wolverine. Totally out of character though. Hugh Jackman is like what 6'2", 6'3". You know, Wolverine is sitting over here at 5'2", 5'3".
Hairy, moody,
Hunchback.
Yeah, Hunchback. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think we'll see a yellow suit or the orange and brown suit or a suit in general upcoming?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
It's going to be a lot of fan service because we've been asking for it for so long that I think they're just going to give it to us, and then they're going to give us this all new bullshit, suit afterwards. Like he's going to show up with the original suit, but then we're going to get some BS suit afterwards.
Yeah.
I would also like, what they did with the first Spidey movie. What was it? Coming Home or whatever. The intro where they recreated the music of the cartoon. When the whole Marvel segment thing started to roll and you had Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I would love if they would do the 90s cartoon one because I think everyone would just freak out in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know the
Spider-Man home.
I want to see that armored Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I know everybody's on like Spider-Man 2099, but I would love to see the armored one. Because he's basically like a Batman. Bruce Wayne, he's got money. Everybody knows who he is.
He's like an Iron Man, Spider-Man. You already know it. You just threw out Batman just to try to cover it. Know that it was an Iron Man, Spider-Man.
Damn it, Panda.
Got him.
Panda, overrated character. The last one on your list.
Last one on my list?
Drop
this is the number one. This is the number one. Iron Man.
Panda,
did you have that on your list?
Yep.
No,
number one.
Sana had Iron Man on her list.
That's my number one. That's my number one, bro, right there.
Sorry, hold on. We're not on the last one. We're on the second. You guys are on second. I'm going to be on my last one.
Oh, man.
So Iron Man. Wow. Okay. Did you know what show you were coming on?
No, I was just joking. We all said that we were going to do our number one, and then when you said that we weren't going to do a list and that we were throwing out numbers, we're like, well, that's gone. We were all going to say number one was going to be Iron Man.
Man, that's yeah.
It is.
Well, not really.
I'm with Sana on this one. I picked Wolverine as well, because I think in the movies they all the X-Men movies were pretty much just Wolverine movies. I mean, honestly, the only one that Age of Apocalypse had Wolverine in it too. They all had Wolverine in it.
Wait, hold on. Did it? I can't remember.
Yeah. He with the little
showed up with the Weapon X gear.
Oh, right. Yeah, and that's where we saw the mask.
Sinister guys come through and pick up some SX4 guys.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Because Sophie Turner's Jean opens the cage or whatever, and then he goes crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a cool scene, though.
I love him in the comic books. For some reason, he was just oversaturated in the movies. Like, not every single one of those movies had to have Wolverine in it. As much as I like, Hugh Jackman, it just seemed to be,
Yeah. All right, he's overrated character.
Man, these are all on my list. I can't even. Tony Stark was definitely on my list as well. Like they're hitting all of them right now. I don't think I have a single one left, other than Tony Stark. That is it. I mean, we could go Captain Marvel on this one, but Tony Stark definitely takes the cake. It's not overrated. He is exactly where he deserves to be right now. Exactly where he's supposed to be.
You know what? Okay, because it seems like we're getting to that point where like we're kind of saying each other's character, things like that. My final overrated was going to be Omega Red, but we had already talked about it because Panda had talked about it in the underrated portion.
Uh-huh.
So, is there a character overrated or underrated that you forgot? And I'm probably assuming that it's underrated that we could finish on. So, for example, for me, a character that I missed out on would probably be Cyborg. I think he's really underrated. I think he's got a good storyline. I think that they could do something really cool with him. But they struck out. I know a lot of people like the Doom Patrol. There's a few people that like Doom Patrol. Man, he looks like the Simpsons alien.
You look like the Simpsons alien. Get out of here.
You know, he looks like Plankton from SpongeBob just grown up.
Everyone loves Plankton, baby.
Right.
Shoot. Team Krusty Krab. Dupe Army. Hashtag Dupe Army. Shoot.
No, my number one was Superman.
Yeah.
Just because, like you were saying it before, I feel like Superman is for all the old heads. Like, as much as I respect it, it's just not my superhero. I think he's just overrated. So,
same for me. Like, I never had any affiliation to it. I didn't really like it. I never had any action figures or comics of his. Even to this day, like, it's not a character that I go to. Like, even, you know, if there's issues or anything like that, I don't think I've ever bought a Superman comic. But hey, like, everyone's got their character, right? Everyone's gonna buy what they want, and that's how it should be. So, yeah, Carlito doesn't believe that Dupe is a character. So
Dupe Army. Firstly, he is, and I'm gonna DM as soon as I hit like 100 subscribers on my YouTube. Big thanks. I'm gonna DM Marvel. I'm gonna be like, hey, throw him in the MCU.
with
We need this. Yeah. What's up, big time? You know. We'll make a whole video on that.
So that's we're gonna leave off with the over and underrated characters, but I do want to go to this. I just want to get your thoughts before we get out of here, because there has been big news. It's kind of spewing over 2 weeks now, but Batman Beyond, that stuff with Batcave, Key Collector, Comic Tom, that thing is ugly. It's getting crazy. I think Batman 1 sold. I saw Team 9.8 Jerry here from Windsor. He posted something that somebody had paid like almost $1,800 for Batman Beyond 1. People are going crazy. Now, I think the argument is with the two books, it's Superman Batman 22 and Batman Annual 4, something like that. But that stuff is getting crazy, man. Like, just
with the whole Key Collector saying it's in the Annual 4.
Yeah,
really in the 22, just because. Yeah, and they look at publication dates, and it's been crazy because they were starting to talk about the Venom 26.
Yes,
Free Comic Book Day as well. They were starting to talk about that too.
And I think that they said that the Free Comic Book Day is the first one, and I think that it's on Marvel Fandom as well. I think it's shown as the first one. Again, some people go with publication date and release date. I kind of stand neutral with this. I have both books, so whichever one ends up being the first one, sure, it's great. But yeah, man, like, it's getting crazy because I feel like you're going to get a lot more people. I know I did some research myself where I was looking more into the Gambit stuff because everyone tries to make it X-Men Annual 14. Technically, yes. I mean, Panda, we've talked about this with Burke and a few chats, but like even with Hulk 180, 181, right? Like, there's a strong case that Hulk 180 is the true first appearance. It just depends on what your definition of true appearance is. So, yeah, some of this stuff's going to get nasty. I think as we go on into the future, I think issues like this will be they'll happen more, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're always gonna have those people that want to prove it, right? And they're gonna want to get politically correct with like what the definition is, what is a cameo, what's this? They're gonna look at dates. So I think this is a problem that is got to get fixed in the sense for the future. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully it does. For sure. All right, guys. So that's it for us. If you haven't already, go sub to Sana, go sub to Panda, go sub to Keys. Make sure you guys go check out his video. He kind of released some breaking news about virus. He thinks that he cracked the code. So go check that out. Let him know what you think about that. Panda, you just dropped a video yesterday, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so go check it out. He,
Sweet A-OK from Austin LeMay. Ooh, man. I even almost said it wrong that time,
yeah,
too.
you said it right then, too. Yeah, he praised you for pronouncing it right, too. So Panda's got that. He does have more videos coming because he just started posting content not too long ago. Sana doesn't have an actual date, right, Sana? You just post kind of whenever?
Yeah, when I feel.
Yeah.
When I feel like it. But maybe soon I will have some unboxing video.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The exclusive.
I know Keon's got, I believe next week he's got an unboxing to do. I know me and Keon are super excited because this Sunday we're going to be going to a comic book warehouse. This thing is like 3 floors. It's about it's almost 80 yards. If you can think about a football field, it's about 80 yards each floor. It's gonna be really nice. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hopefully footage, dupe, I guess. But there's gonna be a lot of books, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, guys, sub everybody. Make sure you follow them on IG, and don't forget, starting next Tuesday after our show, which is gonna start airing at 7. We're going to be doing a speculation show with Dollar Bill. If you don't know who Dollar Bill is, I suggest you go find him on IG. Go see what he's already posted. The guy knows his stuff. The guy knows his knowledge. He's really good at predicting some books. He does a lot of homework when he posts something. So definitely check him out. He'll be here next Tuesday with us. And my guest, thank you so much for coming, Sana. I know you're returning guest. Keys, you basically live on the show.
Live here.
And Panda, I want to say thank you for joining me. You're welcome anytime. You just let me know when. And yeah, guys, thank you for joining. An hour and 40 minutes in, and we still had about 25 people. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And that's it, guys.
How I started here. It's 3 a.m.
See ya. Oh yeah.
Yeah.